Let's get down to brass tacks here. The whole point of having a golf cart or a UTV or something to play on, something to work on, maybe one of both, is to be able to get in it, hit the go pedal, and go. Now the Vatrer Life PO4 or lithium iron phosphate battery replacement makes things much simpler as well as much more efficient. Number one, you're taking a 105-pound battery, so this 48 volt, really 51.2 volt battery replacement, lithium iron phosphate battery replacement, comes in at 105 pounds. Does that sound like a lot to you? Well, this is a lead acid 8 volt battery. Well, what are we doing with an 8 volt battery? Well, this cart takes 6 of these 8 volt batteries, 6 times 8, 48 volt. It's a 48 volt cart. And just one of these batteries tips the scales at 60 pounds. Well, 6 times 8 or 60 times 8, that's 480 pounds. So we're taking 480 pounds of batteries and replacing it with a 105-pound battery. Now, forgive me on that. I did that math wrong. That would only be 6 batteries. So 6 times 60 is 360 pounds. But still, compared to the 105 pounds, we're still saving over 250 pounds just by doing a battery swap. So that's a whole person plus. You're going to save a lot of weight. You're going to gain a lot of efficiency just by going to the weight difference of the Vatrer lithium iron phosphate battery. Also, with lithium iron phosphate, you're getting up to 4,000 charge cycles. Now, one of the biggest hassles of lead acid batteries are having to charge them, and usually you have some sort of golf cart battery charger that has its special connection that's you lug it around, it's somewhere in your garage, you plug it in, and then you plug it into some proprietary port and charge it up all night in hopes that it actually takes the charge. Well, we actually converted this, and now all you have to do is plug an extension cord, a regular old 110, 120 volt extension cord, right there into that plug, and this charger that comes with the kit starts charging this battery, and that's all. You don't have to worry about anything else. And by the way, if this were completely dead, it would take 5 hours to charge this. So easily an overnighter, you're going to have 100% charge by the next morning without any issues. Now the battery here is very simple to install, especially on these 48 volt systems, because you don't have to worry about anything that's already 12 volts. Most of the time, they've already got that step down on the electronics that are already in the cart. And in that case, you're just literally pulling everything from the positive terminals and putting them on the positive terminals, pulling everything off the negative terminals, put them on the negative terminals. Sorry, I can't talk. Anyway, comes with these caps as well, and the charger is already labeled with quick disconnects on here as well. You plug them in, and then you have a power button to turn that battery on and off. It's that simple, and you're typically ready to ride. Again, some specific carts, you're going to have a different install method, and that's what you just got to be aware of what kind of electronics do you have on the cart. Also, a lot of times 36 volt carts have a lot of things plugged into just on 12 volt side of the batteries, because they're 6 volt batteries and they can have 12 volts, and so you have to watch on what's wired at 12, what's wired at 36, and if they don't have an inverter, things like that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole yet, but I'm just saying changing this out was easy when it comes to the electronics. This port here powers this little LED screen, which this is great if you want to put this on your dash. We're not sure if we want to install this yet, but it basically has battery information on here. So it says 93%, it's in standby mode, and if I hit the power button again, it's going to go to page 2, and we can actually set the charge and discharge on or off. And we can do that in the app, so it tells us everything, the state is normal. We see temperature of the batteries, and then we can even see the individual cells in the battery. If any of them are having any problems, we see which ones may be a little out of balance or not. So you kind of see a live status of those things. So you can have this mounted on the dash if you want to, but if you don't want to, I can pull that off, put that dust cap on, and you can tuck that away somewhere where you can get to it at another time. Because right here on my phone is a Vatrer app, and I can just go to the Bluetooth and connect to it with my Bluetooth on my phone. And now when I go to my dashboard, it tells me my status. I can even go in and I can watch it live as it discharges, as we hit the gas and things like that. It'll give me live data from my battery, even tell me temperature, all those things right there on my phone, even the state of each cell. So just like on the plug-in dashboard, I've got it right there on my phone. So I really don't need that right in front of my face. And I'm going to get up to 50-mile range with this. And so I'm really not worried about it, because at the end of the day, I'm going to plug my cord into it, and the next time it'll be charged. So if I want to, I can go to my phone and check it out. So I don't need that onboard display, but it's there if you want it. This has an output of 100 amps, but has a burst of 200 amps. So if you need it kind of instantaneous, you'll notice it in your car. If you hit the gas really hard, floorboard it, going up a hill, it'll go way above 100 amps, probably close to 200 amps, and then it'll come back down. So it will allow it to, in quick bursts, to release up to 200 amps of output, but then it's going to do a sustained of 100 amps. And it's a 105 amp hour pack, but you're getting much more efficiency than a typical lead acid battery. Again, enabling you to go up to, you know, say 50 miles or so. Easily 10 miles, even driving this hard, is going to be no issue at all. Now, we live in Central Florida, so we're not too worried about the cold weather. However, if you are in a cold climate, you're concerned about lithium batteries or lithium iron phosphate batteries, charging, discharging, Vatrer has already thought of that. They actually have a temperature cutout built into the battery where it will stop charging at less than 32 degrees, and then it will pick back up, I think, at like 41 degrees once it warms back up, and then it will stop discharging at -4. So you can go ahead and drive it if it's freezing, if it's 32 degrees, but once it gets down below -4, it's actually going to shut the battery down until it's reaching a safe temperature again. So again, it's got that built into the battery so that you're not discharging these at too cold of a battery, nor are you trying to charge it when the batteries are too cold either. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, we could have done a very simple in and out. In other words, pull those old lead acid batteries out with all the wiring connecting all of them, eliminate a lot of that stuff, and be able to put this lighter battery in and go. However, in our situation, as you can see, a lot of the metal was corroded, which again is a product of lead acid batteries, and just had really rusted everything, which, by the way, there's still plenty more to do, but we pretty much ended up gutting all that structure. I fabricated a brand new battery holder here with a wood bottom. I wanted to do wood on purpose. Wood is a great solution to something like this where we're mounting batteries to it. I don't have to have a battery strap. I've got those screwed directly down to the wood. I have the charger screwed directly down to the wood. It's got a nice solid battery tray now that is also incorporated into the chassis itself. So it's stiffened up the chassis. I've got it all tied in and welded in. I've also got our speed controller mounted to it, and where before it was just strapped on with a big old zip tie. So now we've got a lot more solid chassis here built for it, even though I wasn't happy with the paint job, but we may go in and straighten a lot of that out as well. But now we've got the Vatrer Life PO4 battery. It just works. Again, as it discharges, you plug your extension cord into the front and you're done. You can monitor everything on your phone. You can monitor everything from a dashboard, however you want to do it. But basically, how everything operates as far as your golf cart or your UTV, it's the same way, other than it just doesn't die all the time. Literally, this one, you would plug it in, charge the batteries as far as they would in the old 8 volts, and it would drive about 10 feet and stop. And that was it. And that's pretty common amongst those lead acid batteries. Now we got 4,000 discharges out of this before we start seeing that major degradation. It's still going to be at 80+% after 4,000 discharges. So I think that's going to take us out for several years before we have to worry about this again. The rest of this car will probably be falling apart. Hey, if you don't mind, help us out on this venture. This is our first kind of venture into the electric golf cart world. And as you can see, our seat really doesn't go. So let us know who we should reach out to as far as seats for this thing, and probably a suspension. This suspension is, it's kind of a cobbled together mess. Definitely needs some strengthening up. So let us know what you think we should do next.